Welcome to NYC Now, your source for local news in and around New York City from WNYC. It's Wednesday, July 23rd. Here's the midday news from Michael Hill.
Congressman Mike Lawler will not run for New York governor next year. WNYC's John Campbell reports.
The Hudson Valley Republican had been weighing a challenge to Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul. But on Fox and Friends, he said he'll run for a third term in Congress instead.
I've decided the right thing to do for me and my family and my district is to run for re-election.
Governor Hochul is seeking a second full term in 2026. Lawler had traveled across the state in recent months, making his pitch to Republican leaders. Now, his decision could clear the way for a fellow House Republican to enter the race. Representative Elise Stefanik has been teasing a run of her own. She says she'll make an announcement after this year's general election.
Back and forth between the Trump administration and judges over who will serve as New Jersey's top federal prosecutor continues. A panel of judges declined to extend interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba's term while she waits for the Senate to vote on her potential full-time appointment. Federal law limits the term of interim U.S. attorneys to 120 days. Habba began her tenure in March. The judges instead appointed Habba's first assistant as her successor, but Attorney General Pamela Bondi later posted to social media blasting that decision as the work of rogue judges. She says her office has, quote, removed the appointed attorney. The White House says it will continue to push for a Habba's appointment. 79 with sunshine right now, mostly sunny and 83 for a high. Warmer tomorrow with strong winds and then really hot on Friday.
Stay close. There's more after the break.
NYC.
Last week, a storm brought a record rainfall to parts of the region. Flash flooding in Plainfield, New Jersey killed at least 2 people and damaged homes and businesses. Now, since then, the city's been putting the pieces back together. Joining us now is the Chief of Staff to the Mayor of Plainfield's office, Jazz Clayton-Hunt. Jazz, good morning. How much rain did Plainfield get and what was the impact?
Good morning, Michael. The rains came and went, I would say, very quickly. It was almost impossible to measure the height of the rain that actually fell, but it was so much that it the flood basins that we had were filled to capacity and overflooded. Water went into the basement of numerous residents across the city. We're still digging out, people are still feeling the after effects of that. Many basements are still flooded. The waters have mostly receded, but people are still have water sitting in their basements that they're trying to get rid of. So it was a tremendous amount of rain that fell during that storm over a matter of a few hours.
Jazz, tell us how the city's recovering. How is Plainfield recovering now that the devastation, at least the rainfall part of it, is done for now? How's the city recovering?
It is a tremendous cleanup effort. It's really heartbreaking. You see people bringing out bags and bags of their belongings that they're putting on the sidewalk. And what we're doing from the city perspective is that our sewer and solid waste and our DPW crews, they're going out and doing bulk pickups all across the city. And, in different scenarios, they're going in and helping people to clear the water. Of course, that's not something that they can do for every single resident. It's on a case-by-case basis, depending on whether the person is unable to do so themselves. If they live alone, it could be a senior, could be someone who's disabled, and we're helping in that way. The other thing that we've done is that we had a benefit concert because we recognize that a lot of people, they don't have flood insurance, one. Secondly, the insurance that they have doesn't cover all this possible scenarios. I mean, with insurance companies, there always this caveat or that caveat. And so with the kind of damage and devastation that took place across the city, we realized that there was a gap there that needed to be filled. And so we decided to start a storm recovery fund, which was kicked off by a benefit concert on Sunday. That fund is still ongoing. We won't close it down until the 1st of August. But we had a benefit concert where we saw tremendous turnout. We had artists who volunteered their time and their talent, and they had a free concert. It was free for anyone to attend, but also to encourage people
Jazz,
to
let me
donate
step in here
funds.
because we're limited time here. Pardon me, Jazz. How much money did you raise, and how can Plainfield residents get this money? I know you're still raising, but how much have you raised so far?
At the end of the concert, we had raised $84,290. And we have an application process. They can go online or they can come to City Hall and pick up an application and turn it in. It's going to be on a needs basis because it will have to be a demonstrated need showing, expenses paid and things like that.
Jazz, you touched on this early about the intensity of the storm. What does the city of Plainfield need to do to prevent storm damage like this? Again, and I ask that in this context. New Jersey state climatologist Dr. David Robinson says we can expect more storms with this kind of intensity, a lot of rain, and as you said, in a short amount of time. What does that mean for Plainfield in terms of preventing storm damage like we saw last week?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Michael. We do have some storm retention basins across town. What we saw was that we had been getting steady rainfall over a number of weeks, months actually, and the ground was very saturated. So the storm retention basins couldn't do what they were designed to do in the most effective way. When it's saturated, there's nowhere for the water to go. They're going to overflow. With that being said, we do know that at least one of them requires some cleaning, and it wasn't as effective as it could have been. The cost of doing that is going to be in the area of $5 million. So we are actively looking to see how we can tap into grant funds or any other kind of funding we can get to get that job done as quickly as possible. We're also looking to install an early warning system that may not prevent the waters from coming, but at least allow our residents to, maybe get to higher ground, maybe, get some of their belongings
Jazz, I'm
out of the
afraid
way.
we'll have to leave it there for the sake of time. That's Jazz Clayton-Hunt. She's the Chief of Staff to the Mayor's Office of Plainfield, New Jersey. Please say hi to the Mayor for us. Thank you, Jazz.
We will. You're welcome. Thanks.
Thanks for listening. This is NYC Now from WNYC. Catch us every weekday, 3 times a day for your top news headlines and occasional deep dives. And subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. More soon.